In today's video, we're taking a rather rare jump into F1 World on F1 23, because currently there's a special featured event, which may as well be called a scenario event as well. With the end in sight of the F1 Brazilian Grand Prix 2023, Lewis Hamilton finds himself leading. However, the race has taken its toll on his Mercedes F1 W14, and he is suffering with gearbox issues. Can he nurse the car home and secure a hard-earned victory? This is the first time I've done one of these scenario events for a video on the channel, because it did interest me having to drive around gearbox issues, and the objective is simply to win the race as we hop in midway through a Brazilian Grand Prix. And looks like we're going to load in halfway through this Senna S, and I don't know what lap we're going to be on and how many laps we have to try and drive around said gearbox issues and what those issues are, as it seems immediately apparent there's no 8th gear as I pull my upshifter on the wheel and it doesn't want to go up any higher than 7th gear. That's a problem around Sao Paulo. Up the hill in Sector 3, the straight we just did, that's going to be an issue, especially if the cars behind us have DRS. I mean, Leclerc is, okay, he's 2 seconds behind us. Alonso a further 3 then. We're leading the race. It's lap 63, so we have 8 laps. 8 laps to drive without an 8th gear. I don't know how these events work. Maybe the gearbox will further break. I don't know what the level of challenge is. If it's just the fact we've lost 8th gear, that alone might be a challenge. And I'm not exactly driving amazingly quickly right now in this opening lap. You know, these scenario events, they just chuck you in mid-race and you kind of have no kind of time to prepare for it. So coming off the back of, you know, my team, last time I played this game was my team, so coming off a near, you know, maxed out my team car to a bog standard Merc hasn't done me any benefit, as Leclerc goes purple and he's already within a second. Alonso now goes purple, so these two, Charles and Fernando, they'll be the ones annoying us here today as we try and keep this lead. But look at this, it's a nightmare, topping out at 193 miles per hour at the end of that straight. It's really almost like we've got a GP2 engine right now in the Mercedes. I mean, the acceleration's pretty good, it's like normal because we've got the rest of the gears, but that top end one's really going to hurt us, and we're going to have to maybe play this a bit smart, as Leclerc's already behind us, as I've not been that quick in the corners, unfortunately, and he's on the back of us. He's got DRS now. Alonso's in this DRS train as we go on to lap 65, and Leclerc is on there on the right hand side. You can see him in the mirrors as we go defensive. I'm trying to off-put him a little bit, and that's what I wanted. You saw there he had to step out throttle, and now he's backed himself into Alonso, but it doesn't sound healthy, does it? That gearbox is going to get even more worn out as we go on through this race. 65 to 71, so 6 laps, including, not including this one, I don't think. But Alonso and Leclerc now are within 1 second. Maybe a better tactic would have been to go absolutely balls to the wall and try to build a gap in sectors 2 and 1 a little bit, I guess. But instead, I've gone for the tactic here of Leclerc's already caught me, so now I just need to play defensive the entire time. He's on the outside, we push him to the outside, and now Alonso's in P2. That's what we want, to try and survive. If there's any way to survive this, it's making Alonso and Leclerc fight each other and slowing them down at the right time so we can bolt away with acceleration up to 7th gear, and then we're going to top out, obviously, and that's when they're going to catch us, as we're absolutely pushing the barrier of 7th gear here. It's bottoming out even because the engine sound changes at the end of the straight. Alonso's overtaken as we go for the re-overtake. Big lunge needed at turn 1. No contact made though, kept it all clean, and we're banking these clean lap bonuses in a row. But overtaking Alonso there, put him wide, and now he's back behind Leclerc. That's exactly what we need. Again, Leclerc on the outside, we go defensive, and he's going to be side by side with Alonso, and that's exactly what we need to keep on doing. I feel like there's 2 ways you could do this scenario. Either, like I said, build the gap and then see how it goes, or do what I'm doing immediately from like lap 1 onwards, just trying to play around with the AI, trying to make them fight each other so we can have a breathing chance every time we get to the DRS straight. And we're not doing anything particularly untowards. I mean, you know, we're not making contact with them. We're not going unfairly too wide. We're just placing them in an awkward position, you know, going really defensive. Alonso around the outside, and we just give him the elbow out. And that means he's a bit wider there. And you can see we've already got like a 5/10 gap to what was 1/10. Just gives us a little bit of breathing room, because we literally get to the crest of the hill and I've topped out. and now the car's going to bottom out. You can hear the engine tone just changing if I go quick enough. It's like the car kind of just accepts, okay, this is the complete speed we're stuck at. Everywhere else, it's absolutely fine. And we're actually pulling away 2 more tenths, maybe gained there on Alonso through the center S. And then it's absolute pain here again. I've not got too much battery here. I kind of overused it in the first few laps. So we need to try and save some. So I'm not really using it too much right now. Looking to try and just save battery for the uphill part. And to that effect, Alonso on the outside. We're going to have to just play that fine. Get it to the inside and just park the bus really in Sector 2. Now on to lap 68. Leclerc's behind us. We played a bit of a wobbling game as we went to the racing line, then went to the inside. Side by side with Leclerc. Get the elbow out again. And now Alonso and Leclerc have swapped once more. And that's the motive with this scenario. I think that's just the game plan, is to keep them fighting, basically. As we've got yellow flags behind. Alonso is actually fully past us. We have to outbrake him. It's very close with Alonso there, but we made the clean overtake to get back into first place mid-corner. But yellow flags behind us. Leclerc's behind Norris now. Oh, wow. Oh, Leclerc's out. Even in this scenario mode, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari suffer a painful DNF. Are you mad? I don't know if that's part of the scenario mode. I don't know, like, if you play this, he'll get a DNF on lap 68, or that's just me. I don't know if it's like RNG, if he gets a DNF or not. If that's actually part of the plan, the way they've coded this scenario, that's hilarious. Typical Ferrari and Leclerc luck there, as we do make a little bit of contact with Alonso on that final bend. I can't lie, doing that little defend tactic to give us some breathing room, but needs must, you know, without an 8th gear, we are very much a GP2 engine. And that's quite ironic because Alonso's the one chasing us down, but we apparently got a clean lap bonus for that lap, so the F1 game thought that was absolutely fine. But yeah, I feel like if this was real life, this just would be ropes. Like, we'd be down to 5th place by now. But it's the game. We can play around a little with the AI. You know, I feel like an actual person would not fall for these games, maybe, and they'll just shove me off the road. I mean, there's still time. You know, we know how aggressive the AI can be here on the game, so maybe there's still time for Alonso's AI to shove me off the road as he's gaining, he's on the inside, he's gone for it. Alonso into the lead. We're trying to ruin the party for Aston Martin desperately trying to stay ahead, and that was actually quite good, actually, because Alonso did fully have me on the inside there. That was all of us just mid-corner using the Mercedes pace, but then obviously Alonso is going to re-catch us up here on this straight and onto the climb up the hill. But we've got 1 and a bit laps to go. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable since Leclerc retired, because now we've only got 1 car to worry about. But that's still going to be a job we need to do. We need to make sure we nail turn 1 into the last lap of this 71 lap Brazilian Grand Prix to try and take this victory. Here he comes. We've got 20% battery, which is good. That'll help us accelerate up to the 7th gear. Now we're just riding the rev line. Going to top out at 191, 192 miles per hour. Here comes Alonso's. We get a 7 times clean lap bonus, and we're going for another clean lap as we defend against Alonso. Get the elbow out once again for the final time, I hope that is. And we've done well there. You know, we've placed the car well, and you know, if we weren't careful enough, that could get away from us. So we're making. I feel like we're making it look a bit easy in terms of through the center S. Defending that, because they could easily really push us out maybe and then get the jump on us. And then I think we're playing it smart, just not using a lot of battery in Sector 2 and saving it all for the straight. As Alonso there, you know, I wasn't deploying anything, and so it means he got a really great run, but we just keep our defensive line to try and keep this first place. So all in all, I mean, obviously for someone who plays my team like every single week in, week out, it's an interesting enough scenario this is. I think for other people who are more casual to the F1 game, I imagine this might be more of a challenge for those of you who don't play the F1 game a lot. But let me know in the comments below, have you tried this scenario out? Or if you go on to try this scenario after you've watched this video, let me know how it went in terms of you know, if you found it challenging enough, was it fun for you? Because I think this kind of thing is pretty decent in F1 world. They just need way more of these. Like, I'm talking like 2 of these events every week. As we cross the line, we did some defensive work through the final bend just to give us that breathing room up the hill. And we have managed to take victory with Lewis Hamilton here with a gearbox issue, a missing 8th gear. Driver of the day goes to Alonso. I mean, we did just win the race without an 8th gear. I feel like that would, you know, commend the driver of the day, but It is what it is. It is what it is. But Hamilton looks at his trophy that we've just earned him in this special featured event. I don't know why they didn't call it a scenario in the menu, because it basically is a scenario. There's another scenario also to do with Valtteri Bottas at Portimao, and that unlocks the special kick Spa Alfa Romeo livery. So let me guys know if you guys did enjoy me doing this scenario today. Then let me know if you want to see me take on the Portimao one with Valtteri Bottas. I believe it's a dry, wet to dry scenario. So let me know if you want to see that, and if you have enjoyed this one, then be sure to hit the like button. And like I said, if you go on to try this one for yourself, let me know, honestly, what do you think of it? Do you want to see more of this stuff in the F1 game? I'd be for it, but like I said, I just think they need way more of them as we go on through the weeks, basically. But yeah, pretty enjoyable, and quite satisfied that we got that done. It was a bit sketchy with Leclerc and Alonso, but in the end, we got it done. And the status quo stayed the same in this scenario with Ferrari and Leclerc having an engine failure. Some things never change, even this made-up virtual scenario, hey? But if you're already around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.